Welcome, YouTubers of 2015. This is One Time Fails, and I will be here to talk to you about Steam monetized mods. You've probably heard this from many famous YouTubers such as Total Biscuit, Review Tech USA, and Boogie2988. They say they have quite a unique stance on it, and I also have an opinion on it. You guys may have heard this already, but some people may not have heard it, and it may be unique to them. So I'd like to put in my 2 cents. So my stance on the monetization of mods is that I feel two ways about this. One, I think modders should get paid for their work, because if you're good at doing something, you shouldn't do it for free. A lot of people put a bunch of money and time into this, and it is also a work of passion. Let's be honest. Let's look at a Black Mesa mod. It is a very well done mod off the Half-Life game made by Valve, and if I could pay for it, I would. And it was a very quality mod. But my other opinion on this is that people could be strapped on cash like I am, and people could also be feeling nickel and dime, milked out of their money by by developers and distributors like EA with all their DLC on $60 games, on $60 AAA games and things like this. People are getting pretty fed up about this, and I understand them, especially if they have limited budgets and they're being milked for every single penny. So right now, there's a few issues about this as well, that Steam or Valve is being quite laissez-faire about this, that they have a hands-off policy and they're not really doing anything about it. They have a 24-hour return policy as well. If you buy a mod and it is not good, you can return in 24 hours. But thing is, if something happens to that mod, as if there is a patch made by the developers of the game, not the mod itself, but the game, and it breaks the mod, you will not be able to return it, and then the people who bought the mod will be just left stranded with no way out. And that's not that great. So Steam should really work on their customer service and actually get into this if they want this to be quite successful. Another thing that's an issue is that there's copyright infringements that could happen as well. Like there's Lord of the Rings mods. There's plenty of other mods that have infringed on copyright standards before, or copyright guidelines before, and there's also mods that are being stolen from modding websites like nexusmods.com, where people download those mods and they upload it up onto Steam Workshop saying it's their own, and they're selling it for quite a bit of money. A few things, this is also my opinion on this, that I don't think some of this stuff should be sold, because right now I'm on the Steam Workshop right now, and I see right on the front page there's an armor suit, there's a suit of armor for $2, and excuse me for that, and then there's 2 swords being sold for 50 cents. I don't think this is actually worth that money. I know there's actually free and pay what you want and things like that, but I'll get to that later. And there's also a bundle for $25, which is also more expensive than Skyrim if you got it on sale, and that's quite a bit absurd, and it's just more skins than anything. They don't really add on. But the good thing is that money does stimulate mods, and does stimulate modders to make wonderful mods. Another example is the same thing, Black Mesa. Without, imagine if they got paid. Do you think they could have done much more? They could have, they could mod much more games, really old games that people have wanted to come back. I guess you could say let's say Battlefield, the first Battlefield game. Wouldn't you want that to be modded again? I don't know. It's just an example. Alright, so but thing is, there's also one very, very bad thing that's going on right here. It's a very egregious mistake. It's Valve's cut of the pay. Valve has a 75 to 25% cut, and it's very unfair, and they're just being the middleman. I believe this should be a bit more for the modders as well. Like the Valve should at least get a 30% cut, because they're not really doing anything. They're just saying, here's this, pay us money, and that's stupid. And because the modders are doing most of the work, they're doing this. And you guys may say, oh, but thing is, this isn't valid because they are doing this on other people's work. YouTubers do that too, and they get paid for it. And I know some people who still complain about it, but money is money, and without that, you guys wouldn't be getting this amount of entertainment that you do. Alright. So my preferred way of monetization in this is also the pay what you want, almost like a Patreon esque type of donation. I think this is the optimum way to do this, because it does not, like, if it's a good mod, people will pay much more than they have to, and if there is a really terrible mod that ripped off from everybody else's and is just quite, like, I guess it's subpar to the regular mods that have been put out there, they could just, not give them any money, and that would be, kicked right out the door. It's just that Valve needs to work on this, and they need to get their shit straight, because if they keep going the way they're going, even though they are they're practically a monopoly, they're going to lose quite a bit of customer trust as well. Because when the next thing pops up, like if there's competition for Steam, plenty of people will go over there, especially if they offer better customer service and more policing of the games, like more quality control. And yeah, so Valve better get their stuff straight, and hopefully this all goes well. Yeah, this is One Time Fails, and if you enjoyed this, please like, favorite, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.